perhaps they should have new elections. But perhaps both of them might consider having other people run. They're not the only people that can lead the Ivory Coast. But that's asking maybe too much in an African country. In terms of a solution, it's become clear now that most African countries are not supportive of a military intervention because they know the consequences. They know it will not be contained. It would spill all over the West African region, and what we've seen, the atrocities in Sierra Leone, Liberia, so that is not the favorite solution right now. And I think that's the right approach. The problem is, when you talk about two elephants banging heads, the only way you can have a solution is for either one or both to be willing to make some sacrifices. And what I'm reading right now and sensing, that is not going to happen in the short run. The president of Angola has come up now with the proposal that rather than even an examination, maybe they should just have a new vote. And this time make sure that the system is in place, make sure there are effective monitors, make sure the right things that did not happen before does happen this time before they have new elections. That's the latest news that I just read coming out of President of Angola. But to deal with this, and one thing, I want to make a response to Oji, the brother in the back. It's quite clear that indeed the Western countries favor Ouattara. He had worked in the IMF. They think he's safe. He will pursue the neoclassical orthodox economy model. But I think that's not fair to say that everybody in the Ivory Coast who voted for him was also voting on behalf of France. So I don't think that's fair, even though I concede the point you made. But this is the challenge right now. The challenge that will need to be dealt with is the fact that Ouattara is endorsed by the major instruments in the West. And not by, okay, that's a fair comment. To the extent that at what point will somebody from the outside, this outside so-called mediator, say that maybe we need to reevaluate our position? Will that happen? Given the reckless manner in which most Western countries conduct their policy toward Africa, I'm not confident that that's going to happen. That's why I am still fearful that perhaps we have not seen the worst in the Ivory Coast.
So, having said that, if we as Africans, we see that the same thing is happening in Africa over and over, years after years, the question is not to denounce what the international community or what America or France and the European Union are doing in Africa. The question is, what are we doing? That's the question. And what do we do?
Yes. Yeah.
I am tired of seeing Africans complaining every day.
Yes.
And then, no, listen. CFA, that's another level. That's another level. I'm tired of seeing Africans. That's why I'm glad to see many Africans here. And, in this room, it is good, we talk. And then once again, who took the initiative to do this? Once again, who took this initiative?
I did.
It's not you. Okay, it's not you. Okay, so when I was in 1998. I had an opportunity to go to Italy. I was there. Listen, people. I was there in 1998, and there was a conference of Jubilee 2000 Coalition. You see, all those the activists were mobilizing here in Seattle in 2001. I think it started in Europe. When I went to that conference, there were 38 people, 38 countries represented. I was the representative of Ivory Coast. I went there, was not sent by the country. But guess what? I was so shocked to see that those people who were there, who came from Europe, from America, most of them, to talk about the cancellation of poor countries' debt, or to talk about the cancellation of African countries' debt, most of them were young, white people, if I can say that.
Yeah.
So we should stop denouncing, European powers, because they have been doing what they have been doing for centuries. We had slavery, we had apartheid, we had colonization, and colonialism into the globalization, and they're inventing new systems in order to oppress the people of Africa or people of the global African diaspora. Now, another time, I will share with you the vision I have for Africa, and I call it the Vision for the Redemption of Africa, and it is a new dispensation of Pan-Africanism. And God gave me the grace to do my dissertation in the field of Pan-Africanism, because I believe that the only way we can stand against all those forces, it is in unity. It is to promote an African collective consciousness.